She was already yelling when I walked out of my front door. "You can't park here. This is HOA property, and I'll have it towed right now." But the crazy part? She was standing inside my garage, pointing at my driveway. And her brand new white SUV was sitting right in the middle of it like she owned the place. I froze for a second, because it didn't make sense. How did she even open my garage? And then she smirked, waving a paper that looked like some HOA notice. "See this? You're in violation. You're not allowed to park here anymore." I laughed, but it wasn't funny. "Lady, you parked in my garage. That's my car space. This is my house." She didn't even flinch. She pulled out her phone, dialing fast. "I'm calling the cops. You're trespassing. You don't belong here anyway." I could feel my chest heating up, but I stayed calm. That calm that only comes when you know something other people don't. I leaned against the door frame and said, "Call whoever you want. Just don't move your car. Not yet." She squinted at me like she didn't understand. The sound of her engine cooling filled the silence. "What do you mean not yet?" she snapped. I smiled slowly and pulled a small black remote out of my pocket. With one click, the heavy steel garage door rumbled down behind her SUV, sealing it inside like a trap. The look on her face was priceless. "You really shouldn't park where you don't belong," I said softly. Her jaw dropped. "You can't do that. You can't lock me in." But the truth was, I could. And I had just started. Her scream bounced off the walls of the garage. "Open this door right now or I swear I'll have your house taken away." She ran to the door control panel, slamming the button over and over, but nothing happened. I almost felt bad for her confusion. Almost. "That panel doesn't work anymore," I said, holding up the remote. "I replaced it last month. Too many break-ins around here." She turned, her face red, eyes wide with rage. "Break-ins? You're the thief. You people just move in and think you can do whatever you want. This neighborhood has rules." I stepped closer, calm, steady. "Rules? Like breaking into someone's garage and parking your car there? That's not a rule, Karen. That's a crime." She froze for a second. Like she hadn't expected me to use that word. Crime. I could see her mind spinning, trying to figure out how to twist it back on me. Then she smirked again. "The cops will believe me, not you. I've been on the HOA board for 10 years. Everyone knows me. Nobody knows you." She didn't know I had already been recording since the moment I walked out. My phone was in my pocket, camera on, catching every word. I let her rant. "They'll side with me, because that's what happens here. People like you don't get to win." That line stung, but it also lit something in me. She had no idea who she was talking to. No idea that the last time someone tried to take something from me, it wasn't an HOA board, it was a war zone overseas. And I didn't lose there either. She kept pacing in circles like a caged animal, her heels clicking on the concrete floor. "When the cops come, you'll be the one in cuffs. You'll regret ever moving into this neighborhood," she hissed. I leaned back against the wall, calm as ever. "Funny thing about cops," I said. "They like evidence." I tapped my pocket. "And I've got plenty." That shut her up for half a second, but then she laughed, sharp and ugly. "Evidence? You think anyone cares about your little video? I know people. Real people. I can make your life a nightmare." I tilted my head. "Oh, you've already started, Karen." She stepped closer, wagging her finger in my face. "Don't you dare use my name. You don't know me." I locked eyes with her. "Oh, I know enough." Just then, headlights flashed across the cracks of the garage door, police sirens outside. She grinned like she'd already won. "See? They're here for you." But she didn't realize I hadn't called them. I hit another button on the remote, and the garage door rolled up slowly. 2 officers stood by their car, lights spinning red and blue. Karen bolted out, waving her fake notice in the air. "Officers! Arrest him. He broke into my garage and trapped me inside. He doesn't even live here legally." She was talking so fast she didn't notice when the taller officer's eyes shifted to me. Then to the property number above the garage door, then back to her. "Ma'am," the officer said firmly, "this is his house." Her smile cracked. And that was just the beginning of her real trouble. Karen's voice shot up an octave, desperate now. "No, no, you don't understand. He's lying. I have the notice, look." She shoved the paper at the officer like it was the Constitution itself. The officer unfolded it, scanned for a few seconds, then frowned. "Ma'am, this isn't an official HOA document. It doesn't even have a letterhead. Looks like something you typed up yourself." Her face drained of color, then snapped back into red fury. "You don't get it. I am the HOA. I make the rules here." I couldn't help it, I laughed out loud. "So you admit it. You forged that paper, broke into my garage, and parked your car here to prove some imaginary point." The second officer's radio crackled. "Copy that." "Yeah, we'll need to confirm identity." He looked straight at me. "Sir, can I see your ID?" I handed it over without hesitation. "Name matches the deed." "Been the owner for 3 years," I said calmly. The taller cop nodded, then turned to Karen. "Ma'am, do you have any proof of ownership here?" She stammered, I don't need proof. Everyone knows me." But here's the twist she didn't expect. I leaned down to my phone, tapped the screen, and showed the officers the live recording. Every second of her threats, her lies, her fake authority, all caught in crystal clear video. The cops exchanged a look. One of them muttered, "That's enough." Karen lunged toward me, trying to snatch the phone. "Delete that right now," she shrieked. But I pulled it back just in time and whispered, "You just dug your own grave." Karen froze, realizing too late she had crossed a line she couldn't talk her way out of. The taller officer stepped between us. "Ma'am, you need to back up. Right now." She tried to spin it again, waving her arms wildly. "He's dangerous. He threatened me. You don't know what he's capable of." The second officer cut her off. "Actually, ma'am, we do." He held up my ID and glanced at me with respect. Decorated Army veteran. Served 2 tours. This is his property. You've been trespassing, forging documents, and attempting to file a false police report. Her mouth fell open. She shook her head, backing away like the world was collapsing under her feet. No, this isn't how it's supposed to go. I'm the one people listen to. I'm the one who runs this neighborhood." The officers weren't buying it. They read her rights right there in my driveway, while her SUV sat trapped inside my garage. Neighbors had already gathered across the street, watching in silence, phones raised, recording every second. As they placed cuffs on her wrists, I leaned forward just enough so she could hear me. "You wanted to make an example out of me. Congratulations. You just made one out of yourself." The crowd murmured, some even clapping as the cops led her to the patrol car. For once, Karen didn't have anything left to say. I walked back toward my garage, clicked the remote, and the heavy steel door lifted with a smooth hum, sunlight spilling inside. Her SUV gleamed under the light, locked exactly where she had left it. One officer turned back to me. "You want us to arrange a tow?" I shook my head slowly, a small grin tugging at my lips. "Nah, let it sit there a while. She can come pick it up when she's out of jail." The crowd chuckled. My little girl peeked out the front window, eyes wide. I waved at her, then looked back at the officers. I didn't fight for this country just to be told I can't use my own garage, I said firmly. And in that moment, standing on my land, with Karen finally gone and the truth exposed, it felt like more than a win against her. It felt like freedom.